Hello, you're very welcome to the 5th episode of the Mygenerationgap podcast, where we have me, Stuart Vincent Moore, a 50-year-old Generation Xer, talking about culture and media in our respective generations with my niece, an 18-year-old Generation Z Harriet Pilkington. What?
Gen Z.
Gen Z. Hey H, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm really good. We've had an eventful morning. My boyfriend's dogs just had pups.
Pups?
Yeah.
What type of pups are they?
Cockapoos.
Cockapoos.
Yeah, miniature cockapoos. So she's had them through the night. She's like a week early, so they weren't expecting it at all. Came down this morning, he's got 4 puppies.
And they're all healthy and well and
I believe so. I mean, my boyfriend's at
sleeping.
work, so I can't ask him. Yeah, so his mum's with the pups.
Well, you get to see them and cuddle them.
Yeah. I'm going to go over when they're like 3 weeks old, when it's all a little bit less gross.
When somebody's cleaned them.
Yeah. Yeah, when everything's calmed down a bit.
So apart from puppies, H, how's your week been?
Yeah, good. I've not been that poorly, really, considering how poorly I've been in the previous weeks. I'm still waiting for surgery, so just got to see when that happens, but I'm feeling not too bad. I managed to get out and about a bit. What about your week?
In a couple of days' time, we're recording in the middle of the week, but by the end of the week, I'll be 50 years old. It is my 50th birthday, so that's exciting times.
Yeah, 50.
Now, normally, I start off by saying I'll do a summary of whatever we're watching, but Stranger Things is really your thing, isn't it? You love Stranger Things, so I'll let you take over and do a summary of Stranger Things.
Yeah, so basically you've got, it's based around 4 friends who are in a small American town called Hawkins in the 1980s. These 4 friends are seen as outsiders, I suppose. They're bullied, they play D&D, and they do certain things that possibly in the 80s it was seen as different. So it's about alternate basically, alternate music. I love the music in Stranger Things, and it's supernatural. It's a sci-fi, so they come across monsters basically that get progressively worse throughout seasons 1, 2, and 3. We don't really know why the monsters are there. We just know that they are, and for some reason the children always get involved. Yeah, I mean, Stranger Things is so hard to summarize because there's so much content in there.
Yeah.
So like alongside that storyline, you have an escapee young girl who's basically been part of a government experimentation, who's got powers. So she helps find Will in season 1. She's called 11 because she's the 11th subject of the experiment.
Yep.
So that runs alongside, but we don't really understand the correlation between the two until season 4. Season 4 comes along and we find out a lot more about why those monsters are there. But we'll talk about more about season 4 as we go in.
Yeah. Stranger Things. Now, I have seen Stranger Things. I've been watching it and I wasn't sure I'd like it. There's a huge thing in there about nostalgia. It's very nostalgic. It reminded me a lot of my youth. When I was growing up and I was that age, around the same age as the main characters, and in the UK, Dungeons and Dragons really wasn't a thing. So only the really, really cool kids in school, like me, was doing Dungeons and Dragons. And except we didn't do Dungeons and Dragons. We did a thing called Tunnels and Trolls, which well, it's the same as Dungeons and Dragons, but it was all cheaper.
Just less inexpensive.
Yeah. There was only about, in our school there was about 4 or 5 of us that would get together and role play and do quests together. Yeah, we weren't the coolest kids in school.
Now, unfortunately, so at the start of Stranger Things, we meet Eddie Munson.
Start of season 4. Because he's not in it.
No, he's not in it prior. Although there is a conspiracy, there is a theory around Eddie Munson, and that is that so there's a massacre in Hawkins' lab, but obviously 11 is the 11th subject of this experiment.
Yeah.
Now there was one boy who lived 6
Uh-huh.
and or he wasn't fully dead in the massacre. Now Eddie always wears his watch on his left arm, which is where the tattoo of the number usually is.
Oh.
And he says to Chrissy, "Oh, you might not recognise me. My hair used to be buzzed."
Yeah, they all have shaved
So
heads, don't
now at the end of season 4, spoilers everybody, Eddie sacrifices himself.
they?
He's seen as
Yeah.
dead, but is he really dead? If he's got powers, we don't know.
Yeah.
I like Eddie, so I like the whole D&D club. I like the start of season 4, but unfortunately, mainstream social media got hold of the starting scene of Eddie Munson. So the starting scene being where he goes around the school cafeteria being quite expressive.
Yeah, he's very vocable, and I
Yeah.
did watch that scene recently, and he puts down all the other groups. It's a bit like that scene in Mean Girls, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. It's unfortunate that within social media they've got hold of. So basically people cosplay as cosplayed as Eddie Munson. But there is a thing on social media which is basically called rage bait. Now rage bait is when people
Rage bait.
rage bait. So
Okay.
people do things to a big extent
It's just winding people up.
to get hate because it then boosts their videos to even to like Stranger Things. You're seen as an outsider again, which kind of defeats the purpose of the show in my mind.
Oh, yeah. The first scene that you see him in, he stands
Yeah.
up on a table, doesn't he, in the cafeteria,
does.
and he's pointing at the
Yeah.
jocks, and because he's keen to get out of school, isn't he?
He is. His group hasn't been accepted, and he doesn't understand why he should accept them,
Yeah.
other groups. But yeah, unfortunately, it's just been ripped apart on social media. So to say you like Eddie Munson as a character, it's not something that I'd ever really bring up. If I was in public with a group of people my age, I probably wouldn't even bring up Stranger Things because it's
Oh,
seen
no.
so much. Yeah.
Really?
Which is horrendous because that's exactly not what the show. It's what the show stands against, in my opinion. It's about embracing your individuality and your own opinions.
It should
And
be,
then,
yeah.
well, yeah, but no, it's now just been just absolutely ripped apart again.
But then
So,
embracing your own individuality, but also accepting others.
yeah, exactly. And
Oh, dear.
it's a real shame. But I mean, I'm not really that bothered what people think anymore. So I'll talk about it on a podcast on social media.
It's what I call popcorn television. It's like a popcorn film. It's like a summer blockbuster where you just switch off, watch it, and enjoy it. You don't have to think, what is this film trying to tell me?
Yes.
It tells you, but it tells you in a good
Yes.
way. It's exciting. It's well written. It's well put
Yeah.
together. It's really well performed. And
I'd actually disagree with the meanings behind things.
Oh,
because I
really?
do think there is meaning behind it.
okay.
Whether other people have taken this from Stranger Things or not, I think it's all about mental health. And I think it's about how the lack of support, especially in the 80s for people with mental health. If you think about Vecna, first of all, Vecna targets Chrissy.
Hang on, so
Chrissy-
Vecna is the big baddie in...
Yes. In season 4, we find out that Vecna is kind of the head of
Yeah,
the Upside Down. He's the reason for it all.
okay.
So in season 4, Vecna targets Chrissy, first of all, who is dealing with major self-esteem issues.
Yeah,
He then targets Fred, who is a PTSD sufferer, who has been in a car accident and he feels guilt, even though it wasn't his fault. He then targets Max, who is grieving,
yeah.
also their brother. I don't think it has to be a hidden meaning behind it, and I don't know if many people have taken this away, but I do think, to me, it definitely resonated with mental health in teens. If you think about, obviously Will in season 1, you've got the fact that he's possibly hiding his sexuality because he doesn't feel accepted. He's also a sufferer of abuse from his father.
Yeah.
So I think that it is a lot to do with mental health.
Yeah, so that's interesting. So you have these characters who are trying to hide their other self or hide the struggles that they're going through, and then you have the big baddie who comes along. He is almost just like a big bully then, isn't he? Because he comes
Yes.
along and takes them out of
Yeah.
their friendship groups and their support networks and makes them feel
Yeah.
worse. And of course, isn't it?
Billy in Stranger Things, who's one of my favourite characters, he is he's mainly in season 3. I think he
Yeah.
might be only in season 3.
Yes.
And he is incredibly abusive to his younger sister, and
Yeah.
downright quite just a bully.
Yeah.
But then we realise as you keep watching it, he's abused by his dad and he's
Yeah.
belittled by his dad, and that's why he's the way he is. And at the end of season 3, right at the end, I mean, there's even hints throughout that he's still there. So when they're outside the mall and they're in the car, he revs the engine, he flashes the lights as he's about to drive into them and kill them all. To me,
Yeah.
that's Billy trying to signal through
To
what's
warn them.
happening, to
Yeah.
say, I'm here. And then right at the end, he saves all the children by sacrificing himself because he's
Yeah.
still in there. And it's only through 11 reaching out to him and saying, you're still that young boy that you were. Do you know what I mean? You're accepted. You've suffered abuse, that he then comes back to being a lovely person, which is really sad.
Well, monsters are created.
They are. What was that? Right. So another thing I wanted to talk about was the haircuts, the 80s haircuts.
Haircut.
So yeah, I mean you've got Will's bowl haircut.
Yeah. I've had one of those.
Have you?
Yeah.
Really?
My
Yeah.
mum, your grandma, has used a bowl to cut my hair when I was a child. Yes.
Yeah. And then you've got Dustin and Steve's big curls, big waves. And
Oh,
they've got
yeah.
all the mousse in it. Yeah. And then we've got Jonathan's haircut. What is Jonathan's haircut?
I don't know. I can't picture it. What is it?
Well, that's probably why you can't picture it, because it's indescribable. It's just random. I can't even explain it to you. As a listener, I couldn't explain to you Jonathan's haircut.
It's mullet central, isn't it,
Yeah.
in season 3? There's lots of
Yeah.
mullets kicking around.
I wouldn't even call it a mullet. I've even written down Jonathan's I don't know what haircut, because even as a hairdresser, I couldn't put a name on it. But yeah, I do love Stranger Things, and I think it's so original, because it's hard to get originality in this kind of day and age. A lot of things have been done in media,
Yeah.
but I think especially with like the music defeating Vecna and the way that people are killed, which is quite dramatic. Season 1's not as graphic as like season 4. I mean, they fly up into the air, all their bones break, their eyes go back into their heads, and then they drop to the
Yeah.
floor, which is very...
Well, it's very Stephen King, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is very 80s
Yeah.
horror.
At this point in time, I'm just excited to wait for season 5. I think we've covered kind of everything. I think it's definitely a Gen Z win, 100%.
I'd be on board with that. This is a Generation Z
Yeah.
win. Yeah, it's a great thing. Really good, and people love it. And the characters are terrific. I think my favourite character is Steve, because he started off, didn't he, in the first two couple of seasons where you hated him because he's a bit of a bully, but then he turns out to be
babysitter.
A what?
A babysitter.
A babysitter for Dustin.
Yeah, he's a playboy babysitter. Yeah, he becomes...
Playboy babysitter.
Yeah, I really love well, I think it shows the fact that, you know, the friends that he had when he was of a higher social status, they didn't really care about his well-being or anything. But then when he met the people who he previously bullied, basically, he formed really, really good bonds with them. One thing I did want to talk about is the school bell in America, the American school bells. So it took me back to my high school where I went to a really old high school. I mean, literally you'd lean on the walls and the wallpaper would crumble on you. It was a really old building. One of the buildings there was a bell right in the middle of it, and it was awful. It was the loudest bell. It was like something you'd seen in an American school, and people would I would actively avoid it. Like, it would shake your bones. It was that loud. But then out on the field, and I'd forgotten about this until recently, out on the field, and the field was quite big, we'd all go out, you know, for playtime or lunch or whatever. Yeah. Throughout the school, to get us all back inside, they had a squeaker.
Hang on, when you were at school, did you have lunch or dinner?
Oh, well, I would say, right, this is my opinion on this. Right, 9 till 11 is, well, anything up till, it's just what time I get up. Anything.
What, have you ever seen 9 till 11?
Yeah, nothing happens before 9 o'clock. Nobody's up then. So yeah, 9 till 11 is breakfast. 11 till 1 is lunch. 1 till 4 is dinner. 4 onwards is tea. That's how I see it.
Oh, so you could have breakfast, lunch, dinner and tea.
Yeah, if you really wanted to. It's all about timing for me. But I do know there is a national divide in what people
Yeah. Well, some people say it's a north-south divide, don't they? But I think it's a class divide.
Do you think?
Yeah, it very definitely is, yeah. Breakfast, dinner and tea. But I tend to find I use the word lunch a lot more now. I've gone middle class.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's all about timing, and I suppose maybe the place. Like if you were having a Sunday dinner at 1 o'clock, then it's a dinner. But if you're having a sandwich at 12 o'clock, then it's a lunch.
Right.
Do you get what I mean?
That's interesting. So it's for you, it's all circumstance.
Yeah, everything's circumstance and it can change. Yeah. But anyway, so outside on the field.
Squeaky thing.
The squeaky thing. They literally had a squeaky thing that sounded like a dog toy. It probably was a dog toy, in my school.
Hang on, why did they have a squeaky thing? What was that doing?
To get us all back inside. So, like at the end of the break, and you probably remember they used to have a big bell. We had one of them in primary school. And that's how they get everybody inside at the end.
So the teacher would ring a bell to get you into school.
Yeah, but we didn't have a bell. We had a like a dog squeaker.
like a dog bone, like
like a squeaker. I kid you not. So inside the building.
Was it like Gordon the Gopher?
I don't know what Gordon the Gopher is.
Or Ed the Duck.
Literally, like inside the building, when you're all in this kind of space, you've got a bell which you could hear it from a mile away. Yeah. And then out on the field, you've just got this like barely even hear it. Probably was a dog toy. Yeah. It was pretty bad.
Oh, do you know what we didn't talk about? Because we didn't go back to it. Was it you were asking about a rotary phone?
A rotary phone.
Was it a rotary phone? Is that what you said?
That is what I said, because I was looking at some 80s things that I'd seen that I didn't understand from Stranger Things, and the rotary phone was one of them, yeah.
Right, so what do you think a rotary phone is? You said you thought it was what?
First I thought it was a flip phone, and then I thought, no, flip phones weren't a thing in the 80s. And then I thought maybe it was one of those big phones, like the big grey phones.
What, like a big, mobile phone, like a brick type phone?
Yeah.
No, it's absolutely not. So a rotary phone is before you had phones so now phones are all touchscreen, right?
Is it one of them?
Yeah, so before touchscreens you had phones with like buttons on them.
Yeah.
And then before you had phones...
I was alive for them. I had one of them.
Before you had phones with buttons on them, you had phones which had a dial. So it was, you'd have the numbers. I can't remember whether 0 was at the beginning or 0.
I know what you mean now.
But it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. And then 0, or it was 0, 1 to 9. Yeah. So if you wanted to dial 111, you'd have to put your finger into into the hole in this dial.
What if you'd broken your finger?
You'd have to use a pencil.
To ring 999.
Yeah, you couldn't use the phone. That was it. You had to put something, a finger or some sort of implement into the circle on number 1, move it all the way around until it hit this stop, and then let go of it, and it go back again, and then 1 all the way around, and then let it go, and it goes, which is why 999. If you were in an emergency and you had to dial, it would take you ages because you have to put your finger
you'd have to go
all the way around. Like, no, my house is on fire. I'll dial the emergency services. Let it go.
Yeah.
You burned to death by the time you dialed.
The fire would have just reached you by then.
Yeah. You'd be watching it in a panic. Which reminds me, my telly this week has been Monk on Never. I love Monk. And I've only just recently discovered Monk. Have you ever seen Monk?
I've seen it advertised. It's on Netflix, but I haven't watched it.
It is so funny. When you first start watching it, well, it's not billed as like a comedy show.
Yeah.
But it's so funny. The characters in it are so brilliant. And there's some great comedy writing in it. There's this...
Yeah.
We watched an episode last night.
Yeah.
And Monk and his assistant, Sharona, they've gone to Mexico to look into the death of a young person that had done a parachute jump.
Right.
His parachute hadn't opened, but before he hit the ground, he drowned. So it's got these really good mysteries that only Monk can solve. So it taps into my Sherlock Holmes vibe. So there's this bit where he's in Mexico and he can't speak Spanish. And there's obviously somebody trying to warn him off looking into this murder of this young person that fell from this plane. Yeah. And Monkey's walking through the streets because he's following somebody that's got his clothes on because he's had all these cases nicked. He said, that guy's got my suit on. So he's following, trying to chase him down the street. So he ends up in the middle of this road on this bridge.
Yeah.
And it turns around and there's somebody in this car and they're driving at him. So
like to run him over?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So he turns around and he goes, oh, stop. And then the car's coming closer and he gets his phrase book out of his back pocket and he's looking through for the Spanish word for stop. And he goes, stop, alto. And then he had to jump off the bridge.
It's quite good.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Oh,
I suppose that's the same as like the time frame of like trying to ring 999 in a fire.
Yeah,
that's right. It's the same as the stop and I see what you mean. Yeah.
Look it up in his phrase book.
Speaking of people jumping off bridges and stunts in media, have you seen the recent stunt in Coronation Street?
No.
So Rob's back.
I don't know who Rob is. Rob who?
Rob killed Tina in a big storyline.
Who's Tina?
10 years ago. Well, just people in Coronation Street. He killed her. I can't remember why he killed her. He was just... I can't remember. He chucked her off a balcony and she still wasn't dead and then he hit her over the head with a...
So Rob killed Tina.
Rob kills Tina.
Rob ran away.
Well, Rob's been in prison.
He's been in prison. Years. Oh, right. Okay.
So now his sister needs a kidney. So she's gone to see Rob in prison. He's gone to hospital anyway. He's managed to escape, which, is really realistic. Managed to escape from hospital.
Right. Yeah.
Well, from hospital because he was giving Carla, his sister, a kidney. So he escapes and he basically goes after Carla and her new partner, Lisa. And as he's going to go back after Lisa, so he's got Carla's on the floor. They've abducted her from the hospital. She's in like a warehouse somewhere, and well, it's like an old office block. And so she's on the floor, and then he basically threatens to go kill Lisa.
I don't understand.
So Rob kills Tina years ago.
Tina.
Rob's in prison.
Yeah.
Carla needs a kidney from her brother Rob.
The same Rob.
Same Rob.
Right.
So he gets to come out of prison to the hospital to give her a kidney.
And he escapes.
He escapes from the hospital.
Right.
He is in cahoots with a police officer, a woman. They're in love. She's pregnant.
Okay.
So she abducts Carla, takes her to this office.
Okay, she got pregnant to him while he was in prison?
Yeah.
Right.
Because she's she's like the guard in the, I don't know, whatever. It's Coronation Street.
This is nuts.
Yeah, I love Coronation Street. I can't miss an episode of it. The thing is with Coronation Street is I don't particularly enjoy it, but if I don't watch it and I'm not up to date, I haven't got the option to watch it because you're too out of the loop, so you have to watch it. It's like a chore.
Yeah.
However, so this policewoman, she abducts Carla, who's kidney, and takes her to his warehouse. Carla's obviously really poorly. She's just had a kidney transplant. She takes us to this like old office block warehouse type thing, and then Rob comes and meets them.
So why did they abduct her?
For leverage, for money, because they want money to run away. They've got money from Lisa,
right?
Carla's partner.
Why is she really wealthy?
Lisa, well, they're not really wealthy, but they just want money to run away.
All right, okay,
so they just abducted Carla for. So as he's She runs off, does the police officer, because she realises that Rob's not who she thought he was, because he's gone all psycho now.
Well,
And
who's
he's
Rob?
like threatening to kill. You know who Rob is!
But he's not Rob.
What do you mean?
You said Rob wasn't who she thought he was.
Right, metaphorically speaking.
Right, okay, yeah.
Right. So, because he's gone a bit psycho now and he's threatening to kill Carla and Lisa.
Who's Lisa?
Carla's partner.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You with me?
No.
Rob's knocked Lisa out. Lisa's in the car outside because she's found out that Carla's in this certain place. So Rob's knocked Lisa out. He then goes upstairs to see Carla and his baby mum, whoever she is. She runs away. He's left with Carla. Then he goes to threaten to kill...
Mum? What's a baby mum?
A baby mum is like...
A mum that's a baby?
She's pregnant with his child.
So an expectant mother?
Yes.
So a baby mum is...
His expectant mother. Yeah. The expectant mother of his child.
So a baby mum is just somebody that's pregnant?
Well, no, it's his...
What?
It's his baby. So it's his baby's mum. She's pregnant.
His baby's mum?
Yeah. So she runs away. Irrelevant. She's gone. Forget it. She's gone.
All right, yeah.
He's left with Carla, and then he goes to threaten to finish killing Lisa because he's knocked her out. She's in the car outside. So as he goes to leave...
Lisa's not the policewoman. She's
yeah,
Carla's sister.
Well, actually, she is a policewoman.
Lisa is a policewoman.
She's not the policewoman, but she's a policewoman. But that's irrelevant.
All right, okay, yeah.
So he threatens to go finish killing Lisa, and as he does, Carla pushes him down the stairs, and he runs backwards. Well, he falls backwards into the wall, and then he runs up to the banister and front flips over it and does flip all the way down the stairs. But it's been slammed for the most ridiculous stunt in soap history because it looks really unrealistic.
Harriet.
He literally throws himself over.
I don't think the most ridiculous thing in the last 5 minutes is that stunt.
Possibly not.
No.
So, slang word of the week.
Slang word of the week.
Slang
Go.
showdown.
Yeah.
So I want you to A, identify what it means, and B, try and put it in a sentence. Your slang word is ate. As in A-T-E.
Oh.
And it doesn't mean like you've eaten food.
Oh. Well, coming from Yorkshire, because you wouldn't pronounce your H's anyway, it's just something that you really don't like in it. I ate that. I ate this.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Incorrect.
Shoo, what do you think of sprouts? I ate them.
I ate them.
Yeah.
Right. No.
Oh, right. I ate, I don't know.
Go.
Have
right,
another
okay.
go?
Well, I was going to say have another go, but I don't think you're going to get it. So if you eat or if you ate, it means you've done something really well. So if you put together a really good outfit, you might say, oh, that outfit eats, or that outfit ate.
Right. Why?
Yeah. I don't know why.
All right. It ate.
I didn't make it up. So like, say you just did a performance, you say, oh, that performance ate. It means you did really well.
Like you ate that up. I ate it up.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, you ate that up, and then it's just now that absolutely ate.
Like I drink your milkshake. I drink your milkshake. Like that. Have you not seen it from
No.
There Will Be Blood?
No, you sometimes do these references and I have no clue what you mean.
So anyway, slang word of the week. I definitely didn't eat that, did I?
You definitely didn't eat that one up, no.
Didn't eat that one up. Right, well, it's time for this. It's Burger Stews, Burger Review. 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 It's
Eating a burger, then he marks it out of 5.
He's eating a burger and he's marking it out of 5. This week, it's Boo Burger.
Boo Burger?
Yeah.
What's a Boo Burger?
A Boo Burger, well, there's one in Nottingham, and it must be a chain, because I saw a Boo Burger in, where was it the other day? And I saw another Boo Burger in Wolverhampton. Yes, there's more than one.
So Boo Burger?
Boo Burger, I had the Haystack Burger, 3.5 out of 5.
3.5 out of 5? That's not as good as last week, but it's not bad.
No, it's good.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
A Haystack Burger. I'll tell you what, I had like a burgers in there, cheese, and then it had crispy onion. Not onion rings, but
Ooh.
I like onion. Well, that's why it's called haystack. So
Right,
it wasn't
yeah.
like an onion brick, like was in the Miller and Carter block, like the haystack burger. And it was good. It was all right. Yeah, it's a good, decent, solid burger. And I had it at lunchtime.
Yeah.
And it was £8 with fries and a drink.
That's not bad.
That's good,
not
isn't
bad
it?
at all. I was speaking to Mum this week. She's listened to our podcast. And she looks at our social medias as well.
Yeah.
And she said, I didn't know what a hamburger was. She says, so what's a beef burger then? And that's a very good point. What's a beef burger then?
Well, it's the same thing.
What do you mean it's the same thing? Why is it the same thing?
Well,
Surely a hamburger and a beef burger are different.
No, they're the same thing. I don't know why they're the same thing, but they are the same thing.
I don't think so.
Right, we'll both go away and research it. And then we'll come back next week and see what the difference between a burger, a beef burger, and an hamburger is. Because they're all the same thing.
She made a good point though. But why would you call them different things if it's the same thing? Is one pork and one beef?
Like people call them patties, don't they? And all, and that's just an American thing.
Hamburger surely isn't beef. Maybe hamburger is pork.
No, it's not. It's because they were.
Sure though?
Yeah, it's because of because they originated from the town of Hamburg.
Hamburg?
Yeah.
You have made that up.
No.
You have.
No.
You have.
Oh no, I don't know. Do you know what? I have got leg to stand on. I'm gonna have to go away and find out and come back next week and talk about it. But yeah, Boo Burger. Recommend Boo Burger. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still living off Subways all the time.
What I don't get with Subways is it's the world's hardest thing to order.
Yeah.
Because you go in. I remember going to Subway and they say, "Oh, here's a meal deal. You can have this type of sandwich, and with this and this, and all the signs it says it's like $4.99 or whatever it is now, $5.99.
Yeah.
And then you go down the thing and you say, right, I want this sandwich. I want that deal up there. And they go, oh yeah, all right, good. Do you want this on it? You go, yeah. Do you want cheese on it? And you go, no, I don't want cheese. Do you want it toasted? Yeah, I'll have that. Do you want this on it? Yeah. Do you want that? And then you get to it, it's like £15. You think, well, how did that happen?
If you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, we've got the rewards app. Now let me tell you, if you a Subway enjoyer, get the rewards app. We've had like 3 free Subways in the last few weeks. I mean, I go to Subway a lot, so you know that's why. But yeah, I know my order off by heart. I have a 6-inch Italian white turkey with cucumber, lettuce, tomato, sweet corn, gherkins, and loads of sweet onion sauce. And that is what I have. And it's not set my gallbladder off once. So if you're a gallbladder sufferer, gallstone sufferer, have turkey Subway, you'll be fine.
Right. Well, I'll have a look. I'm trying to eat more veggie.
Yeah. Well, I've been...
Apart from my burgers.
Yeah. You're a vegetarian who does burger reviews.
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I'll probably throw in a vegan burger somewhere.
Yeah.
There's some good ones. I had a vegan burger the other day and I thought I bought meat by accident. It was like,
Did you?
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Good. But yeah, I mean, everybody with gallstones different, but I had a paramedic come out like a few weeks ago and she says to me, have you tried a milkshake? Excuse me, have I tried a milkshake? The whole thing of gallstones is do not eat fat. You know, the surgeons are like, do not eat fat. Have you tried a milkshake? I haven't tried a milkshake. She's like, strawberry milkshake from McDonald's. Like, you should get... I'm like, what?
Right, you ready?
Yep.
Test. Woo, woo, woo. Test. Woo, woo, woo. Question 1. Which Stranger Things boy made the basketball team?
Lucas.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
I should have made the quiz this week.
Which Stranger Things boy got stuck in the upside down?
Will.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, you knew that one.
Which character did Winona Ryder... This is a throwback to the 80s because Winona Ryder was everywhere in the 1980s.
Yeah.
Which character did Winona Ryder play?
Joyce Byers.
I'll take your word for that.
Yeah.
And
Will's mum.
Yes. And which Kate Bush song featured
Running Up
heavily?
That Hill.
Running up that hill.
4 out of 5.
4 out of 5. You could be on for your 50p and a drink.
Could be.
If you did get your 50p and a drink, what drink would you have?
Well, the drink has no limit in price, does it? So I'd have a Costa mango smoothie.
No.
Well, it doesn't. Because it's 50p and a drink. It's not a drink that costs 50p.
I was thinking like a glass of squash or something.
Well, no. You've said it now. I'd have a mango smoothie from Costa because I can have them. And
all right, well, maybe, yeah, if you win it this week, you can have a 50p and a mango Costa, but next week it's 50p and a Spanish latte.
And a Spanish latte.
Yeah. Question 5. What snack did I eat whilst watching Stranger Things?
Was it a biscuit?
No, it was savoury, but I'll give you a clue. My family weren't in the house. I was in the house on my own with the cat.
Why does that matter what snack you're eating?
What, because I was in the house on my own with the cat?
Why does that affect, unless you were eating cat food? I don't know why that would affect what you had for a snack.
What snack did I eat?
Cat food? No. I think you're throwing me off. I think it was Oxo cube crumbled over toast.
No. It was Dreamies. But I laid
that is cat food.
No, the cat treats. It's different. But a lady and the tramps them with Philippa.
You have to specify who Philippa is.
What?
You have to specify that Philippa's a cat.
Yeah, Philippa's cat.
I think you're not having an affair.
But we Lady and the Tramp 'em.
Right.
Have you seen the film Lady and the Tramp?
I have seen the film Lady and the Tramp, yeah.
So it's like Lady and the Tramp, but instead of 2 dogs, it's a human man and a cat.
Right.
And instead of spaghetti, it's Dreamies.
Dreamies.
What you do is you put your Dreamies on your hand like this.
Right.
And I start here, near my thumb, and Philippa starts at my fingertips, and then we eat the Dreamies.
Do you actually eat the Dreamies, or do you pretend to eat the Dreamies?
No, the cheese Dreamies, so they're all right. I'm not an animal. I don't eat the tuna ones. So, and then we eat, and then we meet in the middle.
I didn't think it'd get worse from Oxo cube over toast, but cat Dreamies definitely tops it.
And then we meet in the middle of my hand, and then we kiss.
Right. No wonder you're having to have so many blood tests if you're eating cat Dreamies. We don't know why he's so ill.
Because, they're like, when you eat like cheese footballs?
I hate cheese footballs.
Yeah, well, why do you hate cheese footballs? Because
they've got crunchy outside and there's just...
Yeah, well, the outsides aren't crunchy enough and there's too much cheese in the middle, isn't there?
Yeah.
Dreamies, it's all crunch with just a little bit of cheese in the middle and it tastes like cheese footballs.
Oh, I can never look at you the same after find out that you eat cat Dreamies.
And you get to kiss the cat.
Yeah, to be fair, I can't remember who was with you the week. And they were like, oh, can you believe that some people kiss their dogs on the mouth? I was like, God, yeah.
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 Yeah, well, that's
I'm actually going to go home and do that later. But yeah.
I smell Philippa all the time. I pick her up like this and I just bury my nose in her, just smell her.
There's something about, oh yeah, the puppies, want to go see the puppies.
Oh, smell a puppy.
Yeah.
Until they turn into dogs. Dogs stink terribly, but puppies will smell nice. Yeah. Anyway, you lose the test.
Well, I'm beginning to think it's rigged because cat Dreamies.
What?
I don't think I'm ever going to get this 50p in a drink.
Well,
One day.
So, I think we're all done. H.
I think so.
Apart from, what's your telly been?
What's my telly been? Well, Coronation Street, obviously.
I don't understand that. Have you watched the Maths reunion?
Has that been on this week?
Yeah.
I haven't watched it. Was it good?
No, not really.
Why?
I didn't. It just wasn't that good. They tried to ham up the drama of it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't really that much drama. Kieran, do you remember Kieran? Was it Katrina?
Yeah, Kieran and yeah.
Well, they kind of separated, didn't they?
They did.
And but they were just lovely, weren't they? Really nice to each other and went their separate ways.
Yeah, I feel like possibly he wasn't honest with her, which
No,
is
a
why
little
their
bit.
relationship failed. But
Yeah. And then but it was funny because it kept on saying because she said, "Oh, why didn't we work?" And Katrina said, "Well, you kept on comparing me to your ex." And he said, "I wasn't." He said, "I was just realizing that some of the things that you did were very similar to some of the things that she did. And I was just looking at the differences between them." So I was like shouting at the telly. So you were comparing them.
Yeah, that's literally the same thing.
It's the same thing. Yeah, so that's been my telly, Maths and Monk.
I don't think I've watched any of the telly really. The Sidemen football charity match is on next Saturday, so I'm looking forward to that. Now you won't know anything about that because you're a Generation Xer. So in Gen Z, you've got obviously different YouTubers, and there's a YouTuber
I know who KSI is.
Oh wow!
That shocked you, didn't it?
It did shock me. So obviously KSI is part of the Sidemen. Although I'm not really that big on the Sidemen. I don't really watch a lot of their videos. I think they're a bit
no, I don't like them.
Over-expressive, and now they've got a lot of money. They're not relatable. However, the people that they are against are all the lower, well, not lower level, but all the less famous YouTubers that I watch.
Oh, okay.
So I watch them. So I'm really looking forward to the charity match.
Oh.
So yeah, that's on next Saturday.
Oh no, the next burger review might be a little bit, strictly speaking, it's not a burger.
So it's not a burger review then?
Well, it sort of is a burger review, but not.
Right.
But it's a sandwich that is so ridiculous that we can not review it.
Right.
You'll see.
I will see.
Yeah. Right, well, we'll call that a night. H. Thank you very much, dear listener, if you made it this far. Leave us a review. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Yeah, click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future episodes. Find out what's happening in the world of maths and other nonsense and Monk.
Yeah.
And get in touch with us. How do they get in touch with us, H?
They can email us at mygenerationgap@gmail.com, or they can make sure to follow our social medias. Mygenerationgap on Instagram and also Mygenerationgap on TikTok.
TikTok?
Yeah, that's new as of this week.
Excellent. All right. Good night. Love you.
Good night.
Thank you for listening to the My Generation Gap podcast. Please get in touch with us at mygenerationgap@gmail.com or contact us through the socials. All podcast production by Stuart Vincent Moore. Artwork by Harriet Pilkington. Music by Andy Dawson.